So I talked to Max Wallace, who co-authored the book, Love and Death. And I says to him, what's up with Tom's hidden evidence? His Cobain case study manual says things like the information about the car in front of Chris's house is kept away as evidence for the time being, but will later reveal to the FBI if the case ever gets reopened. I also heard that he claims Dylan could not have done it, because he knew where Dylan was. I also says to Max, and why did he assume it was Callie in the beginning? And so Max says to me, he says this: the car stuff is not that important, but yes, it's one of the things Grant is saving. Not because it proves anything, but like a lot of stuff he's saving to impeach witnesses if they are ever interviewed. Some of his stuff, however, didn't seem important to the case at the time, but now easily disproves various claims by Joe Burns. We have a lot of that stuff and are free to use it if it ever becomes necessary. I don't think Grant has ever said Dylan couldn't have been involved because he was with him. If so, send me that link. That's not the type of thing he would say, nor does it make any sense. Grant doesn't even know definitively when Kurt was killed, and neither does anyone else except the killer or killers. I assume that he knows, like we do from the same pool of evidence, that Joe Burns' account is impossible. But neither Grant nor us can definitively prove that Dylan didn't kill Kurt. It's very hard to prove a negative. All I know is that Joe Burns is lying about many things, and we can prove it. But most notably the fact that Dylan killed Kurt when and how he claims. As for what Barth learned or didn't from his own surveillance and from the surveillance of his company, don't make assumptions if you haven't seen his reports. I'm not willing to say more about what's in the reports, but they are quite important in retrospect, even if they didn't seem so at the time, and still don't point to who killed Kurt. And there's a reason he fell out with Grant, even if it's more about ego than a valid grievance. And it definitely makes Grant look better than Barth when it comes to his diligence to the case. It's unfortunate, because if he had stayed on the job instead of quitting in a huff, he may have inadvertently cracked the case. I'm also unclear, by the way, why Grant honed in on Callie as the most likely suspect. I disagree and am convinced he wasn't the murderer and doesn't know who is. But maybe there's more to his involvement that Grant has seen, but withheld from us. I know Grant never claimed that he had any evidence that Callie did it, so it may be mostly circumstantial and suspicion, but I haven't a clue.